Hey everyone, welcome back to Heretic History. If you're new here, we dive deep into the stories that shaped civilizations, and today's video is one of our most ambitious yet. We're unraveling the complete history of two of the world's largest and most influential religions, Islam and Christianity. From the deserts of ancient Arabia to the heart of the Roman Empire, these faiths didn't just inspire billions, they redrew maps, sparked wars, and pioneered golden ages of science and culture. Over the next few minutes, we'll journey through 2,000 years of history, exploring how these religions rose from humble beginnings to global dominance, and how their paths collided, coexisted, and forever changed our world. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's start at the beginning. Islam and Christianity, two of the world's largest monotheistic faiths, emerged from the ancient Middle East and transformed global history. Christianity, rooted in the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, spread across the Roman Empire as a message of salvation and divine love. Evolving from a persecuted sect to a state religion under Emperor Constantine, it split into Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant branches shaped Europe's cultural and political landscape. Islam, founded by Prophet Muhammad in 7th century Arabia, united tribes under the Quran's revelations, emphasizing submission to one God, Allah, and social justice. Rapid expansion under caliphates like the Umayyads and Abbasids created a vast empire, fostering a golden age of science, philosophy, and art. While the Crusades marked periods of conflict, medieval interactions also saw fruitful exchanges, such as Islamic scholars preserving Greek texts that later fueled Europe's Renaissance. Today, with over 3.8 billion followers combined, both faiths grapple with modernity, interfaith dialogue, and their enduring legacies in shaping laws, cultures, and global conflicts. Let's rewind to 4 BCE, in the dusty hills of Roman Judea. Here, a child named Jesus of Nazareth was born, a figure whose life would ignite a faith followed by billions. By age 30, Jesus preached radical ideas: love your enemies, care for the poor, and seek God's kingdom within. But his message threatened Rome's power. In 30 CE, he was crucified, a brutal execution meant to erase his legacy. Yet, his followers claimed he rose from the dead, sparking a movement. The Apostle Paul transformed Christianity from a Jewish sect into a global faith, writing letters to communities from Greece to Rome. For 300 years, Christians faced persecution, burned as torches in Nero's gardens, fed to lions in Colosseums. Everything changed in 313 CE, when Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity. By 380 CE, it became Rome's official religion. The church now wielded immense power, but cracks were forming. The stage was set for a split that would divide Europe itself. Now, let's fast forward 600 years to 570 CE, in the arid trading city of Mecca. Here, a merchant named Muhammad would receive revelations that changed the world. At age 40, while meditating in a cave, he heard the angel Gabriel command, "Recite." These divine words, later compiled as the Quran, called for worship of one God, Allah, and social justice, care for orphans, fair trade, and unity over tribal feuds. But Mecca's elites rejected his message. In 622 CE, Muhammad fled to Medina, an event called the Hijra, marking year 1 of the Islamic calendar. There, he forged the Ummah, a community bound by faith, not blood. By his death in 632 CE, most of Arabia was Muslim. His successors, the Rashidun caliphs, launched conquests from Persia to North Africa. Yet, a bitter dispute over leadership after Muhammad's death split Islam into Sunni and Shia, a divide still shaping the Middle East today. When Rome fell in 476 CE, Christianity didn't crumble, it thrived. The church became Europe's glue, converting pagan tribes like the Franks and Goths. Meanwhile, the Byzantine Empire in Constantinople dazzled, with most cathedrals like Hagia Sophia, a marvel of engineering. But tensions simmered. In 1054 CE, the church split into Catholic, West, and Orthodox, East, a divide called the Great Schism. Fast forward to the Age of Exploration, Catholic missionaries sailed with Columbus and Cortes, baptizing millions in the Americas. In Africa, Portuguese traders built forts and churches, blending faith with empire. By the 1600s, Christianity spanned the globe, but so did its contradictions, as colonizers preached love while enslaving souls. While Europe fractured, Islam entered its golden age under the Abbasid Caliphate, from 750 to 1258 CE. Baghdad's House of Wisdom became a global think tank, where Muslim, Christian, and Jewish scholars translated Greek philosophy, invented algebra, and pioneered optics. Astronomers calculated Earth's circumference, Doctors wrote medical encyclopedias used for centuries. Meanwhile, in Spain, the Umayyads built Cordoba, a city of libraries, streetlights, and interfaith dialogue. But this brilliance wasn't eternal. In 1258 CE, Mongol invaders sacked Baghdad, burning its libraries. Yet Islam's torch passed to new powers, the Ottomans. By conquering Constantinople in 1453 CE, they turned a Christian capital into Istanbul, Islam's new jewel. For 600 years, the Ottomans ruled 3 continents until European empires rose, and the Islamic world faced a reckoning. In 1095 CE, Pope Urban II made a fiery plea: reclaim Jerusalem from Muslim hands. Thus began the Crusades, a 200-year holy war that reshaped East-West relations. In 1099 CE, Crusaders captured Jerusalem, massacring Muslims and Jews in a storm of zealotry. But Muslim general Saladin struck back, retaking the city in 1187 CE with surprising mercy, sparing civilians. These wars weren't just bloodshed. Crusaders brought back spices, science, and Arab numerals from the Islamic world. Meanwhile, Muslim scholars like Ibn Sina influenced European medicine. Even enemies traded ideas. Knights Templar adopted Islamic banking, and Sufi poets inspired Christian mystics. Yet the scars lingered. The Crusades birthed stereotypes of holy war that still haunt politics today. While the Crusades raged, another drama unfolded in Spain, the Reconquista. For 700 years, Muslim caliphs ruled Al-Andalus, where Jews, Christians, and Muslims coexisted, writing poetry, debating philosophy. But by 1492, Christian kingdoms like Castile expelled the last Muslim ruler from Granada, forcing conversions or exile. Meanwhile, in Eastern Europe, the Ottomans clashed with the Habsburg Empire. Suleiman the Magnificent besieged Vienna in 1529, spreading fear and coffee across Europe. Yet even rivals traded. Ottoman tulips bloomed in Dutch art, and Hungarian castles fused Islamic and Gothic styles. These eras weren't just war. They were messy, vibrant collisions of faith and culture, proving coexistence and conflict could shape history equally. By the 19th century, European empires turned their gaze to Muslim lands. The British carved up India, the French seized Algeria, and oil-hungry powers redrew the Middle East after World War I. Colonial rulers mocked Islamic customs while Christian missionaries preached in Africa and Asia, calling it a civilizing mission. Resentment brewed. After World War II, as nations like Egypt and Indonesia fought for independence, new conflicts erupted. The 1948 creation of Israel displaced Palestinians, igniting a crisis that still burns today. Radical groups twisted faith into weapons, like ISIS destroying ancient mosques, or extremists bombing churches. Yet hope persists. Interfaith groups rebuild bridges, Muslims protecting Coptic Christians in Egypt, Christians sheltering Rohingya refugees. The past shadows loom, but the future, it's still being written. In 1517, a German monk named Martin Luther nailed 95 grievances to a church door, igniting the Protestant Reformation. He rejected papal authority, preaching salvation by faith alone. Soon, Europe fractured. Lutherans, Calvinists, and Anglicans broke from Rome, sparking wars like the 30 Years' War from 1618 to 1648, which killed millions. But Christianity kept evolving. In the 1960s, the Catholic Church modernized with Vatican II, allowing Mass in local languages. Meanwhile, Pentecostalism exploded globally. Today, 1 in 4 Christians is evangelical or charismatic. Yet secularism rose too. Empty churches in Europe contrast with megachurches in Nigeria or Brazil. From the Me Too movement challenging patriarchal doctrines to priests sheltering refugees, Christianity's story is still a battleground of reform. When the Ottoman Empire fell in 1924, Islam faced an identity crisis. Secular reformers like Turkey's Ataturk Erkay abolished the caliphate, while Saudi Arabia's alliance with Wahhabi clerics birthed a strict, puritanical Islam. Oil money later spread these ideals globally, funding madrasas from Pakistan to Nigeria. But not all Muslims agreed. In Egypt, Muhammad Abduh argued Islam could embrace science and democracy, a philosophy called Islamic modernism. Then came 1979, Iran's revolution toppled a Western-backed king, creating the first modern Islamic state. Groups like the Muslim Brotherhood demanded Sharia law, while extremists like Al-Qaeda hijacked jihad, twisting it into terrorism. Today, young Muslims push for LGBTQ+ rights and feminism in Jakarta, while Saudi Arabia allows women to drive. Yet the shadow of groups like ISIS lingers, proof that faith, politics, and power remain fiercely entwined. Today, over 3.8 billion people, half of humanity, follow Islam or Christianity. Christianity's heartland has shifted. Africa alone has 700 million believers, while Europe's church is empty. Islam is the fastest growing faith, projected to nearly match Christianity's numbers by 2070. Both face crises. Christians grapple with abuse scandals, LGBTQ+ debates, and losing youth to secularism. Muslims confront Islamophobia, Sunni Shia proxy wars, and groups like Boko Haram distorting jihad. Yet, there's light. Pope Francis washes Muslim refugees' feet. Indonesian clerics issue fatwas protecting endangered species. In New York, Muslims and Christians serve meals side by side at soup kitchens. The future, it's pluralism. From Dube's Interfaith Council to YouTube imams and pastors, reaching Gen Z, faith is adapting, not dying. The question isn't which religion will win, but how they'll shape a world where everyone's beliefs collide and coexist. So, what's the takeaway? Islam and Christianity aren't just religions, they're epic sagas of empires, ideas, and human struggle. From Jesus and Muhammad's humble beginnings to the Crusades, colonialism, and TikTok faith debates, their stories remind us, history isn't about clashes, it's about choices. Will we weaponize faith, or use it to heal? Now, over to you. Which moment shocked or inspired you most? Drop a comment. I read them all. And if you want more deep dives into history's untold battles, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell, and hit like to help this video reach fellow history nerds. Thanks for watching, and remember, understanding the past is the first step to changing the future. Until next time, stay curious.